Welcome back to some new r/petty revenge stories, where people share small victories over those who wronged them. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Fired for Doing the Right Thing. I was a tech in a dealership. One of my tech friends had recently left to go to another dealer, which is very common in the industry, and had convinced the owner of that dealer to try to get me to come to work there as well. I had already turned down 2 or 3 offers from the other dealer. And finally, after a face-to-face with the owner, I had made a rage demand I knew they would not meet. As expected, he didn't meet my demands, and I simply left it at, "If you are willing to pay me X, I'll come work for you." And we parted ways with the stipulation that he wouldn't call me again, unless he was willing to meet my asking pay. Meanwhile, I was due to go to a manufacturer-provided technical training. While training is technically free, there's a cost to the dealer, since the tech has to still be paid, even though I wasn't working, as well as transportation and lodging and meals. Before I left, my boss asked me what was going on with the other dealer, since he wasn't going to send me to training if I was leaving. I had not left it a secret that I was being courted by another dealer. I told him the full story, including my asking wage, to which we both agreed they would never pay. I flat out told my boss that if they made that offer, I would give him the opportunity to match it, but if he didn't, I would leave. It would have been a significant raise to above the going market wage. He agreed, and I went off to training. While at training, the owner of the other dealer called. He offered me more money than I asked for. I finished the training and went home Friday afternoon. Monday morning, I walked into my boss's office. As agreed, I told him about the offer and gave him the opportunity to meet it or even come close. Instead, he freaked out, started screaming, and fired me. Now, before I had left for training, I had taken apart a cylinder head from a double overhead cam engine, which was still fairly new, to this manufacturer at least, and had neatly arranged all the parts atop my toolbox. Now I just got fired. I had to get my toolbox out of the shop, and it was covered in neatly arranged engine parts. I dragged over the nearest trash can and raked everything into it. The poor guy who ended up with that job called me several times. "Hey man, where's this part? If it ain't in the trash can, I can't help you." Apparently, before my boss realized what I had done, the cleaning crew had emptied all the trash cans into the dumpster. The next story is called Banana Revenge. Right after college, I worked in the marketing department for an NBA team, and one of the team secretaries was an obnoxious middle-aged woman. She would sit at her desk in the lobby all day and stuff her face with snacks from the break room, and was generally unpleasant to all our coworkers. Sometimes I would find my lunch that I kept in the employee fridge half-eaten, or things missing from it. One day I walked into the break room and saw her swapping her unripe green banana for the ripe banana I had packed for lunch. I never mentioned it to her, but I got my revenge anyway. Over the next couple of weeks, I would bring about 10 extra bananas to work with me, and I would duct tape them to the bottom of her desk. After about 3 weeks, her area and the entire lobby started to smell from the rotting bananas. She had no idea what the smell was, and it drove her absolutely insane. She would have the maintenance guys come and check the air vents, insisting something was inside it. She even freaked out at the janitor, saying he didn't do a good enough job cleaning. I worked for the team for about 6 months after I placed the bananas, and she never figured it out. Fast forward 2 years. I ran into my former supervisor from the team at a bar. We were talking, and he told me that a few months after I left, the janitor found a bunch of bananas under the secretary's desk. I filled him in on my little scheme, and we had a great laugh. The next day, I sent him a picture of me with a banana in my hand. He framed it and put it in the break room. The third story is called Not My Truck. I live in a city, and to save money, I don't own a car. Sometimes it's inconvenient, but mostly the subway and buses get me where I need to go. For groceries, there's a big grocery chain just a few blocks away, so I'm leaving the grocery one day, a bag in my arm and another in a small backpack. I'm walking through the parking lot on the way home. and this lady steps out in front of me and starts yelling that I parked my truck too close to her car. I look next to her, and this little orange hatchback is parked, with the driver's side right up against the white line. Next to it is a large white pickup, with its passenger side also right up against the white line. Each vehicle was within its proper spot, but with little more than the width of the line painted on the pavement, separating them. As I'm looking at the situation and trying to figure out what's going on, this woman is yelling at me, calling me names, and demanding I move my truck. I decided to push back. I know it wasn't my truck, but I wasn't going to tell her that. So I said, I'll park however I like, and I am not moving that truck. She kept yelling and mocking me, and I continued to refuse to move the truck. While this is happening, a dude walks past us, tosses something in the back of the truck, climbs in, and starts to pull out. She does a double take and seems lost for words. As the truck pulls away, I say, I never said it was my truck. The last story is called Trash Revenge. There's a guy at work who is incredibly messy. Soda cans, chips wrappers, bags, paper, etc. all get dropped on the ground when he's done. Invariably, someone comes around and picks up behind him. Among his many messes are rubber bands. He sets up and puts away hand scanners every night, and uses the rubber bands to hold the batteries in place. At the end of the shift, he tears the rubber bands off and leaves them on the desk and floor around the charging station. An hour after he leaves, I take my lunch at that desk and have to pick them up, pull them out of the chair wheels, and throw them away. Last week, I discovered the big box of rubber bands he uses, stashed inside a filing cabinet. So after picking them up that night, I decided to recycle them back into the box. All week I got a little smile picking them up and putting them away, watching the ratio of good to bad change. Today I came in and heard him swearing in the scanner room. I popped my head in and asked what was up. Someone's putting trash rubber bands into the box, he mumbled, trying to sort through them. I acted surprised. They pulled them out of the trash and put them back into the box? He didn't say a word. I just turned around smiling, feeling happily petty. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.